The Experience Pros Radio Show, home of the original Fan Braggin Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin story of great customer service on Facebook.com/Experience Pros. Now, back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. It's Fan Braggin Friday. We're celebrating our third year on the broadcast airwaves across major markets all across this great land. And we've got Gary on the phone with Mindstorm. Hello, Gary.
Hi, guys.
Fantastic to have you back. Thanks for fan bragging about the Denver Film Festival. Tell us a little bit about Mindstorm, because I think not only our friends here in Denver, but all across America, not only want to, but need to know about your services.
Well, and I appreciate what you said in your last segment about what Paul and I were able to do for you, for your press set, and for your trade show graphics, and kind of that creating that environment. And we're coming out of fall trade show season. It's been a busy season for us. We're always usually pretty slammed September, October, and then into November. We're starting to see the tail off a little bit, and we see a lot of our clients already preparing for what they'll have to do to come out of the gate early for the spring season, January, February, and March next year. So we really, really enjoy having that opportunity on the front end to consult and collaborate with our clients. We understand what you need, put some ideas together, brainstorm on a whiteboard, how much fun was that?
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
It was so much fun. Now, Gary, talk a little bit, because I think a lot of times, when we think about, going to a trade show or creating visibility for our business, we think of the graphics, but you provide a full consultative program. Let's share that a little bit.
We do. It's for years and years in production, we produced a lot of great stuff for a lot of good companies and fun clients. But we weren't able to add as much value as we could had we been involved on the front end of it. So good, to your point, we like to sit down and really understand what you're trying to accomplish. What is that visual that can come out of that concept? And then if we need to collaborate with some other aspects, for your situation, we talked about the integration of interactive media. Having a flat screen, incorporated into your set, into your display. Understanding how you wanted to use that, what was your messaging intent for that flat screen, how will that booth be used, subsequently. It isn't just about preparing for one show; it's about preparing a product graphically that will represent who you are for any event, for any type of use. So that's one aspect of it. Is if we can be involved in the front end, understand where you're going, we can really come up with some great ideas.
And we did come up with some really fun ideas. And one of the things, Eric and I, like I said, we don't do a lot of events. And I think a piece of it was because we really didn't have the visuals behind it.
Yeah.
And now when people ask us, can we come out? Can we do? Eric and I get all excited.
Do you have space for our set?
We get to bring the whole set out now. So we're really excited. You've elevated our business into ways that we really didn't even know that they would go before we started that very exciting conversation with you. Would you give some contact information again for Mindstorm?
I would love to. Our website, you can see some great project visuals, get a better understanding of who we are and what we're about. It is at www.yourmindstorm.com. I can be reached directly at 303-263-5879. Would love to have a conversation, engage, and understand how we can help.
Gary Paulin, Mindstorm, yourmindstorm.com. You're a good man. Thank you for calling in today.
Thank you, folks. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Kim in Birmingham, Alabama writes in. She says, I want to talk about the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. I wanted to do something before I left Birmingham for the day. I found the gardens on Yelp and decided to check it out. I was so amazed at this place. It had a little of everything, and on a beautiful spring day, as it was the day that I was there, it was wonderful. The kids were running about on field trips, but the place was large enough where you can avoid checking out other areas and come back to it later. I recommend exploring and walking everywhere. You end up finding little spaces here and there that are just exquisite and so serene. I even ended up completely alone in some areas since no one ventured out further to smaller paths that were great. I wanted to have a book and just read it in some spots, or maybe even take a nap. Kim, thank you for sharing the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. Not the first time that they've been fan bragged about on our broadcast.
I know. I would never think to take a nap, but you can feel how relaxed just being around the gardens. And I know we have some incredible gardens here in Colorado, and it's just something nice about getting back into nature and just breathing fresh air and seeing green and color and natural things coming out of the ground instead of concrete all the time. And so it makes a big difference. Thrilled to hear about a good botanical gardens in Birmingham.
You bet. It is Fan Braggin Friday. It is our 3rd year anniversary, and Angela, I'll tee it up for you. I'm wondering, are there any over the course of these last 3 years, any highlights, any things that stood out, both fun and or opportunities to grow?
Opportunities to grow. I'll tell you, when you start thinking big and you take your business into really uncharted territory, we'd never been here before. We didn't really have the background, and it was so exciting to see the opportunity. And as we started to open up our mind to saying yes.
Right.
And I think, how often do opportunities come to us every single day that if we would just be a little bit open just for a moment, but how often does somebody come to you and say, I have this idea, or what do you think of this? And we instantly go, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Tried that before. Yep. I know somebody who did that. Nope, we don't have the budget. We don't have data. And we just instantly shut it down. But if just for a moment, every time, and this is a behavioral change. If every time somebody came up to you with an idea or expressed something to you, if you would just for a moment listen and be open to the possibility. And so many of the opportunities that Eric and I have had in front of us were simply because we said yes to an opportunity, to a possibility. Did we have all of our T's crossed? Did we have all of our I's dotted? Did we do all the data? Did we bury ourselves in research? No. A lot of times it was just on faith. And we stepped out and said, here's an opportunity, here's a door, we're going to walk through it. What's the worst thing that can happen? All right, well, we had some flops. And we've had some shows that were better than others. We have had over 1,100 hours. 1,100 hours
Absolutely.
of broadcast time here on the radio. There are going to be some good days and bad days.
You can get your PhD in small business development and what to do, what not to do in small business by simply going through the archives. And by the way, all of those archives fit in your pocket if you have the Experience Pros Radio Show app. And each one has a detailed analysis of what we talked about. We broke it down hour by hour because in the national market, we are only on for 1 hour, here in Denver 2 hours, and we wanted to make sure that you could find what you're looking for. So go pick up that app, the Experience Pros Radio Show app, available at the iPhone App Store or the Android Google Play. That would be very cool.
I love, it's really fun to have the opportunity. My husband told me the other day he was in a hardware store. He said, I was listening to your show in the hardware store. I said, how were you listening to the show in the hardware store? Well, he was streaming it live on his phone and had his, little ear thing in his phone. And so you can stream the show live wherever you are. I get so many folks that say, well, I don't get it in my car. I don't have a radio here. You have a phone. You carry it with you.
Right.
You can stream it right from your phone. There are all the podcasts you never have to miss. And if for some reason you hear a guest and you're like, oh, I didn't get that third tip, or they mentioned a website and I want to go back, all the podcasts are there. We've made it so easy for you. When we expanded from a 30-minute show into a 2-hour show, when we were 30 minutes, we had a lot of people say, you know what, I missed you. The phone rang and I missed the show, or I had to get out of the car. And when I came back, the show was over. I missed the show. When we expanded to 2 hours a day, people were saying, I caught the show.
Yeah.
I was able to catch the show.
Yeah, we figured that catching
is better than missing.
Much better.
Much better than. And so we're happy that you have caught the fever of the Experience Pros Radio Show, that you listen, that you've shared for business. You've helped us reach 1 million listeners on several different occasions. And you've put the Experience Pros Radio Show on the map, on the radio dial, and on the radar. And we are so grateful for our listeners.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be right back. We have one more Fan Braggin Friday segment for this broadcast, and we'll come back right after these messages. You're listening to Angel and Eric on the Experience Pros Network.
The Experience Pros are here to help you get your business right. To learn more, visit experiencepros.com.